Stranger Things, Episode 5 and 6 first look is totally unbelievable. I'm not sure we're ready because the blood-soaked sci-fi nightmare dropping this Christmas might be the darkest gift Netflix has ever delivered. Episodes 5 and 6 have Mr. Watset revealed as different from Vecna, Max and Holly almost escaping Vecna's mental prison. 12 children revealed as living vessels, and the Mind Flayer's true horrifying nature finally exposed. Posters and behind-the-scenes images sending chills down the spine, and the Duffers are also confirming that every secret about the Upside Down gets answered. This is the first look, and here is everything about it. Starting with Episode 5 titled Shock Jock, right after Will uses his powers at the end of Volume 1, things get tense with his family. You know, Volume 1 ending showed Will collapsed on his knees after crushing those Demogorgons, with Mike and Joyce staring at him with their eyes popped out and completely stunned. They're processing what just happened. Will didn't just survive Vecna's influence, he weaponized it. When Volume 2 picks up, they'll be standing in front of that portal, watching it seal. But here's the thing, will Joyce become less protective now that Will can defend himself, or will his newfound power terrify her into holding him even tighter? She spent years fighting to save her son from the Upside Down's grip. Now he's using that same darkness as a weapon. That's not closure, that's a mother watching her child become the thing she feared most. Mike's reaction will be equally critical. He's always seen Will as someone who needed protection, but that dynamic just shattered. Their friendship is about to shift in ways neither of them are prepared for. In Episode 5, we're also thrust into the full revelation of why Vecna kidnapped those 12 children. And again, we are going to be getting the entire history of the Upside Down and how it was created. Volume 1 ended with Henry Creel declaring they're perfect vessels, but Shock Jock tears that vague statement wide open and shows us the nightmare underneath. These kids aren't hostages, they're living batteries. Vecna has them suspended in the fleshy walls of his lair, draining their energy to feed his power. They're like human fuel cells plugged directly into the Upside Down system, keeping him alive and strong. But here's where it gets even way darker. Multiple sources point to a terrifying theory that these children could become the 12 Pillars, the physical arms of the Mind Flayer in its final form. Their energy doesn't just feed Vecna, it constructs the bridge for something ancient and infinitely worse to cross over. Jamie Campbell Bower, Vecna himself, already hinted that Volume 2 will force viewers to grip their seats, especially regarding what he's up to. That phrasing matters because it's now what Vecna is doing, but it suggests that Henry Creel's personal stakes in this ritual go beyond mere conquest. Is he summoning the Mind Flayer intentionally, or has he been manipulated all along by a force that predates him? Shock Jock won't just answer what the children are for, it will reframe everything we thought we knew about who's really pulling the strings in the Upside Down. Next is Episode 6, Escape from Camazotz. This could be the most emotionally devastating episode the Duffers have ever made. It's directed by Sean Levy, the same guy who directed Season 4's heartbreaking Dear Billy. This episode will focus on Sadie Sink and shows Max surviving inside Vecna's mental world with Holly Wheeler. Max isn't just lost in some random nightmare, she's hiding in a cave that looks exactly like the Nevada caves from the first Shadow play, the same place where young Henry Creel first met the darkness that destroyed him. Sadie Sink mentioned in the new Entertainment Weekly spread that Max will get her chance to shine, and the caption paired with that haunting image of her alone in Hawkins Hospital at night suggests this is right before everything erupts. Probably Vecna discovers Max and Holly are working together inside his memories, and he unleashes Demogorgons on Max's physical body, lying unconscious in that hospital bed. Levy also confirmed Escape from Camazotz draws heavy inspiration from Dear Billy, meaning we're getting another Kate Bush moment, but inverted. Instead of Max escaping Vecna's grasp through music, Lucas will be playing Running Up That Hill while physically carrying her unconscious body through the hospital corridors, running from actual Demogorgons. The behind-the-scenes photo of the Demogorgon stand-in that Sean Levy posted is extremely terrifying when you realize that thing will be hunting Max while she's defenseless. This will be one of those last-second heart-pounding rescues where Lucas saves her just as the monster lunges. But this is also going to be a sad episode for Max and Lucas, as Sadie revealed. She described the connection between these two characters as heartbreaking. Max hears Kate Bush music faintly, her heart rate spiking on the monitor, yet Lucas not noticing because he's too consumed by grief. Sadie hinted at them sensing each other's presence, but being unable to truly reach one another. Not again. The thought of it is already devastating, and definitely there will be a tense anticipation of the very moment Lucas finally sees life in Max again. That's the payoff we've been waiting for since her bones snapped in Season 4. Meanwhile, before she finally reconnects with Lucas, Max and Holly are working together inside Vecna's mind, trying to find weaknesses in his mental prison. Jamie Campbell Bower said, "Something important about Max, he called her a catalyst for what happens later. That means Max isn't just trapped. Her presence is breaking Vecna's control from the inside, creating cracks he can't fix. The cave isn't just a hiding spot, it's a blind spot in Henry's mind, probably the one place connected to his deepest trauma that he physically can't enter. That's why it protects them." Episodes 5, 6, and 7 would finally explain the mystery of the Upside Down, who created it, and why it was frozen on November 6, 1983. The Duffers have promised that Volume 2 will rip open every secret they've been guarding since 2012. We're talking about the inverted realm's true form, its creator, and the reason time itself stopped the night Will Byers vanished. But here's where things get a little bit strange. If the Upside Down froze on November 6, 1983, why is that same date also when Joyce performed in her high school play back in 1909? Volume 1 showed us young Joyce on stage that exact night in Henry's memories. 2 November 6ths, 24 years apart, both connected to Joyce, both linked to the Upside Down. That can't be random. It's a pattern. Something about that date creates a connection between our world and the other side. Episodes 5, 6, and 7 will also have to explain what November 6th actually means. Sean Levy confirmed that since this is the last chance to explore the Upside Down, Volume 2 will spend serious time there, peeling back layers of its history. The figure of the Mind Flayer regains terrifying relevance here. If Volume 2 reveals the Mind Flayer as the dominant entity, the true creator of the Upside Down, then Vecna becomes a tragic pawn in a game he never understood. I can't even say that will be so sad given the number of lives he has taken, but that will actually be insane, and let's just say sada next. Let's shift gears to who Mr. Whatsit is. Jamie Campbell Bower dropped an intriguing revelation in one of his recent interviews, stating what was almost unbelievable. Mr. Watsit isn't just another mask for Vecna or Henry Creel. He's a completely separate character representing what Henry could have become if he'd stayed human and never fully succumbed to the darkness. Remember, Henry is only a couple years younger than Joyce and Hopper. Mr. Watsit embodies that alternate timeline, the version of Henry who wasn't all bad, who might have lived a normal life in Hawkins if circumstances had been different. But Bower teases that in the next few episodes, more of Henry Creel's true nature will bleed through Mr. Watsit's facade. His true colors are finally going to shine, and judging by that new ominous image of him standing in the rain looking absolutely sinister, we can already see the monster beneath the human costume beginning to surface. This isn't going to be a slow burn reveal. Volume 2 is about to rip the mask off entirely. Bower also mentioned how deeply the first Shadow stage play affected his approach to Vecna's backstory for Season 5. Henry's childhood, his toxic relationship with his parents, and the cave ritual that corrupted him all informed how he's bringing this character full circle. The importance of exploring Vecna and Will's unfinished business is also essential to the story. So now we're anticipating a lot more of Vecna, Henry, and Mr. Watsit. We're finally getting those answers. One of Volume 2's most underestimated plot twists is the return of Kali, Eleven's sister from Season 2's divisive Episode 7. The Duffers said that bringing Kali back will completely change everything in the second half because Kali actually matters. Her illusion powers might be exactly what they need to beat Vecna, but the new images raise some dark questions about what Dr. K was doing to her. We see Kali trapped behind a huge wall in the Upside Down, restrained and maybe even being drained. Was she creating fake barriers to hide the military base from Vecna and his Demogorgons? Or is this some kind of device meant to study her and steal her powers? Either way, Kali is being used as both a weapon and a prisoner, just like what happened to Eleven. When these sisters finally meet again, their powers together, Eleven's telekinesis and Kali's illusions could change the entire fight. They could break the rules of Vecna's mental world. Finally, let's talk about the newly released character posters and their taglines. It gives us massive clues about how this revelation unfolds. One of the posters places Eleven and Will side by side, Eleven's hand resting on Will's shoulder. This clearly shows their intertwined fates since Season 1. But let's talk about the taglines. Will's poster reads, "We don't have time for safe." This just confirms Will isn't playing it safe anymore. He's weaponizing the connection that's tortured him since childhood, and it's going to cost him. 11's tagline is also chilling. Not emotion, instinct. For 4 seasons, 11's power relied on controlled focus, channeling anger, love, or memories to fuel her abilities. But Volume 2 looks like it is going to strip that away. The final battle won't allow time for careful meditation or emotional anchoring. 11 will be operating on raw primal instinct, the kind of desperate survival mode that screams she's fighting something beyond her comprehension. This kinda aligns perfectly with theories that the Mind Flayer isn't Vecna's puppet, it's his master, and 11 will be facing the true architect of the Upside Down's existence. One haunting detail from the posters is that our dear Robin Buckley has no dedicated poster among the main cast. Could this hint at her fate, or simply means her role is secondary in episodes 5, 6, and 7? Anyways, let's not overthink it. While almost complete, we're probably still not getting an explanation for where Steve's parents have been this entire time. Some mysteries are meant to remain unsolved. Anyways, we've come to the end of our video. What are your thoughts on all these so far? Let us know in the comments. Also, like and subscribe for more amazing Stranger Things theory breakdown.